You know, the traffic light that saved you from a crash this morning, the light bulb hanging over your head, the very computer you're watching this on, they all share a hidden history. Today, we're going to uncover the brilliant minds who basically wrote the blueprint for modern life. So let's dive in.
This quote right here, it just nails the whole idea of our story. It reframes history not as something that just happened to people, but as something that was actively designed and built, often by people facing unbelievable challenges. This is a story about engineering solutions.
Seriously, think about that for a second. The phone in your hand, the traffic light on the corner, that call you just made, they all carry the silent fingerprints of innovators whose names we should all know by heart. Their legacy is literally woven into the fabric of our daily lives. Okay, so let's start with the big picture, the massive systems and technologies that form the backbone of our society. You could call it the foundational code of our world, and it was written by some truly remarkable people.
This slide just says it all, doesn't it? Garrett Morgan had this incredible vision. He looked at the pure chaos of early city streets, cars and carts crashing into each other, and saw a problem he could solve. The result? The three-signal traffic light. He saw the horror of firefighters and workers choking in smoke-filled buildings and invented a breathing hood that saved countless lives. He didn't just see problems, he engineered solutions.
Next up, we've got Granville T. a man so brilliant, so prolific, they called him the Black Edison. And for good reason. The man held over 60 patents. His induction telegraphy system was a game changer. It allowed moving trains to communicate with each other and with stations. This was a massive leap forward for railway safety, but it was also so much more. It was kind of like the conceptual DNA for all the wireless communication we can't live without today.
And get this story really shows you what a giant he was. The actual Thomas Edison was so blown away by his work that he tried to buy Woods' patents. When Woods said no, Edison literally sued him, trying to take credit for the invention himself. Woods fought him in court not once, but twice, and won both times. He proved his ownership through sheer, undeniable excellence.
And that spirit of genius brings us to Lewis Latimer. Now, we all know Edison invented the light bulb, right? But here's the catch. His original version burned out in like a minute. It was totally impractical. It was Lewis Latimer who invented the carbon filament, the tiny piece inside that made light bulbs last long enough to actually be useful, affordable, and practical for every single home. As he put it himself, we are born to help complete what others begin.
And to bring this section right into our time, we have to talk about Mark Dean. I mean, if you have ever used a personal computer, you have benefited from his work. As one of the co-inventors of the original IBM PC, he developed the essential ISA bus technology. That's the thing that allows all the different parts, like your printer, monitor, and modem, to actually talk to your computer. He is truly one of the architects of our digital world.
Okay, so let's shift focus a bit. We've been talking about the external world, the streets, the networks, the computers, but what about the internal world? Let's look at some incredible innovations designed to heal the human body.
This is just incredible. Dr. Patricia Bath didn't just create a new tool. She invented a new way to give people their sight back. Her laser phaco probe made cataract surgery way more precise and way less invasive, restoring vision for people all over the world who had gone blind. And in doing so, she became the first African-American female doctor to receive a patent for a medical device. Absolutely amazing. And you can just hear her passion and her purpose in her own words. For her, vision wasn't just about what your eyes can do. It was about a profound act of compassion, the ability to help someone else see the world again.
And speaking of massive human impact, meet Otis Boykin. The man had 25 patents, but one of them beats at the very heart of modern medicine, the control unit for the pacemaker. His work on electrical resistors made it possible to precisely regulate this life-saving device. Millions of hearts are beating steadily today thanks to his focused genius.
All right, so we've gone from saving lives to, well, perfecting life. This next set of inventions is all about how genius isn't always about massive machines, but about elevating the simple objects and routines we deal with every single day.
Look at this chart. It's wild. Before Jan Ernst Matzeliger, making a single pair of shoes was a slow, painstaking, and expensive process. His shoe-lasting machine automated the hardest part of it all, and boom, it slashed production costs by over 75%. This one invention put affordable shoes on the feet of millions and basically built the global footwear industry as we know it.
You know, innovation isn't always about creating something out of thin air. Sometimes it's about perfecting what's already there. And that is exactly what Sarah Boone did. The old flat ironing board? It was clumsy, and trying to iron a sleeve was a nightmare. She patented an improved design, curved and shaped to perfectly fit the form of clothes. It was such a simple, elegant, and timeless improvement.
Oh, this is such a powerful story. Madam C.J. Walker saw a huge unmet need, hair care products designed for African American women, and she turned that idea into an absolute empire. But she wasn't just selling a product, she was creating a movement of economic empowerment. She trained thousands of women to become sales agents, giving them a way to build their own wealth and independence in an era when opportunities were almost non-existent. She became one of America's first self-made female millionaires.
In this quote, this was basically her life's motto. She didn't wait around for permission or for someone to discover her. She saw a need, she created a solution, and she built a legacy so powerful, so undeniable, that no one could ignore it.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's zoom out and think about the deeper meaning behind all these stories. Because this isn't just a history lesson, right? It's about a fundamental, powerful human drive to create.
I absolutely love this example because it shows the incredible range of human genius. On the one hand, you've got Lonnie Johnson, the serious NASA engineer who worked on stealth bombers and the Galileo mission to Jupiter. And on the other hand, he's the guy who invented the Super Soaker, one of the most beloved toys of all time. It just proves that brilliance can be applied to rocket science and to creating pure, simple joy.
And that's really the big takeaway here. The people we've talked about weren't just random flashes in the pan. They are evidence, proof of a persistent, powerful creative spirit that knows how to turn adversity into advancement and challenges into world-changing creations. And maybe the deepest way to think about it comes from this final thought. It frames the act of creation not just as something we do, but as something deeper, a connection to a divine, creative purpose that flows through us when we build, when we solve, when we innovate. And so, we end with this question for you. If this legacy of ingenuity, this spark of creation, is an inheritance, well, it belongs to all of us. So looking at the problems and the possibilities all around you, what will you build?